3, 2, 1.
Good morning. This is Michelle Tiemeyer with Blackhawk Co Extension right here in Waterloo, Iowa, bringing you another edition of information for everyday living. Cold morning out there. I know all of you folks have braved the cold weather for many months, but I couldn't believe still at 10 o'clock in the morning, 18 below. So anyway, great day to be in Iowa, great day to be inside listening to our radio show. And we're going to bring a little warmth into your heart, into your home today, talk about some things that are near and dear to your heart and our heart as well. We've got a couple of folks in our audience today that we're going to be speaking to about an important event that is coming up in April called Money Smart Week. And we all know that the importance of personal management of our own budgets. I think particularly right now with the high heating costs that people are enduring, as well as just coming off Christmas, we're all thinking about our money and how we might be able to manage it better. So I've got some tools for you to think about today and some opportunities for you to learn more about how to be better managers of your money. So we will introduce our guests here shortly. But we did want to just bring you a few announcements from Blackhawk Co Extension, as we always do at the beginning of each of our shows. Think warm, think spring. That's kind of something that kind of keeps us all going right now this time of the year. We have a couple opportunities for you to think about your gardening, things that you might be wanting to think about right now and plan for your summer. One of those efforts is through the Cedar Valley Grows organization or group. It's a collaboration of many community organizations within the Blackhawk County area. It's really trying to grow the idea of having more community gardens within the Waterloo Cedar Falls area. So we have opportunities for organizations and nonprofit groups, churches perhaps, that might be interested in a little extra boost to help them put together a community garden. So there's going to be some informational meetings coming up here on February 20th in Cedar Falls, and also in Waterloo on Friday, February 21st at 10 a.m. at the new Sportsplex complex to learn a little bit more about this opportunity. But basically, what you will learn and the resources that we will bring are, if you're applying for such a grant, there's really no money that's implied. It's really resources that we bring to your organization. We're working in partnership with the cities of Waterloo and Cedar Falls to help identify some public spaces that might be good garden site locations. So if you're in an area where there's not an established community garden, you might want to consider reaching out to some public areas and the resources that this grant opportunity provides. So in the dates that I mentioned, both on February 20th and 21st, you can learn more about the grant application process. The grants are actually not due until March 14th, but it is a written application process. If you'd like to learn more about this whole opportunity for community gardens and growing them here locally in the Cedar Valley, I'd urge you to take a look at the website that has been designed specifically for this opportunity. It's www.cedarvalleygrows.org. Or if you'd like to call the Extension office, we can also provide you with additional materials and resources. Our office number, as I've mentioned many times on our show here, the phone number is area code 319-234-6811. So remember, community gardens, think warm, be good. That's really great. I'll also talk about a couple other opportunities that the Healthy Cedar Valley has in providing some more educational opportunities for your gardens. I'll announce those later on in the show starting in March. So we look forward to hearing more about that. So with that, let's introduce our guests today here in the show, and I'll just let each of them do kind of a self-introduction. They're going to be talking today about money management and some events that we have going on in the Waterloo Cedar Falls area during the month of April. So let's get started and hear from them. Dresden, tell us a little bit who Dresden Wolf is and why you're involved in this whole financial management, a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind.
Sure. Well, like Michelle said, my name is Dresden Petty Wolf, and I am an animal science instructor at Hawkeye Community College. I've been there, this is going on my 6th year now. We are working on a project, as Michelle said, Money Smart Week. The ag side of it is going a little bit different. We have a separate date in February. It's February 25th that we will be having a day of speakers, workshops that can help you plan around your finances and look at a number of different aspects of that. We've chose a little bit different date to kind of accommodate those in the ag field. February is a little bit more of a downtime than April. But I guess I got involved in this a little bit by chance. Michelle sent me an email and I started working with a number of people that were interested in the ag side of things. No matter what, you need to pay attention to your finances. Things are very, constantly changing. So we need to, try to plan ahead. Agriculture's got a little bit of a changing face to it with age in there, and so we want to get some of those younger generations involved and seeing how we can maybe make some transitions and yet still make it enjoyable for older generations as well.
Dresden, you bring up some good points there that we'll go back to with the young farmers and trying to get them engaged in farming and that transition, the transition of farms from the older generation to younger generation, how we can do that. So there's a lot of financial complications obviously involved with that. We're glad to have Dresden on board with our Money Smart Week efforts. She brings a different perspective, so we're going to explore those a little bit later on in the program. So thank you, Dresden. And of course, Mike Finley has been involved with Money Smart Week. How many years now, Mike?
I believe it's 2.
2 year, okay. Mike has been engaged, and so Mike, if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're so passionate about the area of managing your finances.
You bet, Michelle. Well, I spent 26 years as a U.S. Army military policeman, so that years, the decades that I spent in the military provided me a great deal of insight into people and the decisions they make with their money. And at an early age, I found how important financial education can be for you and your future. And as I changed the course of my life through financial education, I felt compelled to help others do the same. And so I speak within communities throughout the state of Iowa, not only about money, but exactly how you use it and deal with it in hopefully bringing more happiness into your life. And so therefore I wrote the book, Financial Happiness, and I teach about the world of money on Monday nights at the University of Northern Iowa, and I teach people about investing and how they can do it. So again, they bring a sense of meaning to their life through the use of money.
So that's an interesting perspective. You've kind of changed your life, your direction by refocusing a bit, so spending a long time in the military. I'm sure that you've seen a lot of situations where money can really cause a lot of problems within families, and so that passion is carried over into your current role at UNI.
Yes, it has. And what I found to be so true is the power of the individual. Once you harness your attitude, you harness your emotions, you actually take responsibility for your financial life, and you start down that path of education, it's truly amazing what you can do once you have that mindset that says, I can do it, and I am the answer.
So your role currently now at the University of Northern Iowa, you have the opportunity to work with a lot of young, call them young, younger than I am certainly, college-age kids. What kinds of problems do you see that youth are getting involved with right now?
Well, one of the issues, and it's a universal problem throughout America, is college debt. Taking on debt to get an education that hopefully will provide a young person more opportunities in their life. And so what we try to do is work with them to understand the debt they're taking on, to limit it as best as they can, and to manage it wisely and effectively so it doesn't take over their life. And that can be a real problem. And of course that means avoiding other kinds of debt that really have no purpose of being, such as credit card debt. Helping young people see how devastating that can be and how they need to push that out of their life and limit the debt that's actually going to help them further their education and their opportunities in life.
Sure. So your mention of credit card, I'm sure you see a lot of things with credit cards too that kind of make your stomach turn a little bit, and the problems that can cause.
Yes, it is a problem, and rather than just focusing on the credit card, we really try to focus on the psychology behind it. Why do people do what they do when it comes to using credit or buying stuff? And so simply trying to put Band-Aids, let's say, on a problem, we try to really focus on what is the underlying issue. And once you can address that and get a handle on it, a lot of issues can go away because you're dealing with it from a real deep level.
Right.
And that's important not just for a college student, but for any one of us.
Right.
And we have many professors and faculty members and members of the community who also attend our classes. And it provides them insight as well as gives them an opportunity to share what they've learned with the young people. So it's a collective effort by all of us to bring not only a financial education to the community, but a sense of meaning and control to one's life.
So with that in mind, just maybe providing a bit of a history here for our listeners today might help us put the information we presented today in context. About 4 years ago, and it was 4 years ago, the Federal Reserve came to us and asked us whether or not we would like to be engaged in a local effort called Money Smart Week. And actually Waterloo Cedar Falls area was the second community in the state of Iowa behind Polk County that took on this initiative. And they knocked on the door of Extension and said, what might you be able to do to help us put together a collaboration of people? Knowing that Extension and the work that they do is certainly, we also have financial education. We can talk a little bit more about that later on. But they came to us and said, we'd like for you to help us put together some awareness building activities, programs within the community that will help us extend the information to other people. So bringing together people like Dresden and Mike and others, I think we've been successful in doing that. So again this year, we have Money Smart Week will be happening in April, the first week of April. And Mike, maybe you could just take a little bit of time and talk about some of the things that you know that are going to be happening for Money Smart Week.
Sure.
Once April happens.
So on Monday night of that week, we will be having our normal UNI financial literacy class, and everyone in the community is invited to that to kind of see what that's all about. And as we bring in the Money Smart community, we can collectively come together and realize how important this issue is. And then on Thursday night, we'll have our normal investing class. And again, bringing the Money Smart message to as many people as possible to understand the value of why this money stuff is so important, not only in your life, but in the lives of the people you care about. And so not only those two events, we have Geocache, which is an event that is put on by Money Smart Week, and that'll be done throughout the community. It's kind of a fun event for students to play, and there's chances of winning a scholarship of decent amount of money.
Right. Tell us a little bit about that geocache. It's kind of a little interesting little project that you've taken on. Tell us more about it, Mike.
Yes, well, students have a chance to go to different areas and answer financial questions. They use their smartphones, and they may take a question and answer it, and for every correct answer they have, it goes into the kitty, so to speak. And if they have 6 or 7 correct answers, they have a chance of winning a $1,000 scholarship. And that money can be used to reduce the amount of college debt they may have. It certainly can serve as something positive that financial literacy could bring to the average individual.
Right. So when you say they can go at different places and find questions related to financial literacy on campus, you're talking about at UNI. So where might, is this something that's just limited to UNI students then, or is that something that?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. And it's an issue that we're trying to bring as many people the awareness that anyone can play the game, and all you have to do is take a shot, educate yourself, and you might have a chance to win some money.
Right. Well, it's a new thing that's being done in conjunction with Money Smart Week, so we're real glad to be able to do that. We're also doing an evening program for youth within our community that week as well. And these dates and such, you don't have to commit all this to memory. We will have a complete schedule of all the Money Smart activities on the Blackhawk County Extension website and also the Money Smart Week website. You can pull down the menu that says Cedar Valley, and those will be posted soon. You'll also be seeing a great article, or an insert, I should say, in the Waterloo Courier the week prior to Money Smart Week that will also have a complete schedule of all these activities. So we urge our listeners to be patient and listen or see those kinds of opportunities both on our website and also in the newspaper. Of course, if you have questions immediately that you would like to talk with us, please give us a call at the Extension office at 319-234-6811. So, Mike, I think you've got really some great things going on there. I know we have some things going on for senior citizens as well. Is there anything that you would like to add about that?
Well, we have different events that we're looking at scheduling, and basically it's an opportunity to bring education on investing, methods on how to deal with Social Security,
Right.
How to deal with money at a later stage in your life, how to pass that money on to other generations, issues that are important and specific to somebody who, let's say, is in their senior years.
Right, and I guess we've tried to really cover the waterfront when we've talked about some of these educational opportunities, something for senior citizens, something for the young, something for farmers, and Dresden, we'll get back to that here in a little bit, also for families. So we've tried to really spread out our educational opportunities as well. So thank you, Mike, for bringing in those added parts of Money Smart Week. I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention to you that the Iowa State Extension has some great resources related to financial literacy. I would urge you to go to our website or again to give our office a call. We do have a finance specialist that we have direct access to that will provide programming to any interested organization or group within our community. There's really some great curriculums out there that we use and really get down and dirty to help people understand much of what Mike is talking about. So those programs can be provided in most any setting that there's need or interest expressed. So there again, don't be afraid to give us a call. Your Money, Your Future is kind of a great one that we offer to folks in our community, as well as a whole host of other Money Smart opportunities that we just offer through Extension on a day in and day out basis. So I wanted to be sure and get that inserted. Dresden, I want to get back to you a little bit. I know that on February 25th, you mentioned that we will be having a conference at Hawkeye Community College. Tell us a little bit about enrolling and the cost of doing that, and then if you have any of the speakers and some of the things that we know they're going to be talking about would be of interest to our audience, I'm sure.
All right, yes, we have our Ag Money Smart Day event on February 25th. Registration starts at 8 o'clock in the morning and goes till 8:45, and the conference is scheduled to be over around 4:30. The registration cost for students, that could be, your traditional student under 18, or that, or any of your college-age students, regardless of your age. If you're a student, you would fall into the category of $10, and that does cover lunch and any materials that we would provide and some snacks along the way. If you're a non-student, you would be $20 for the day. And again, that would cover lunch and all of the different materials that go along with our speakers and anything from the day. We do have, and this is going to happen at Hawkeye Community College in Tama Hall. We'll utilize the auditorium and then a few of the classrooms there. So we'll have it all set right there, very easy and convenient for everybody to get around in Tama Hall. The speakers that we have lined up are numerous. We have 3 sets of breakout sessions, and at each session we have 3 different options for those breakouts. So we have a lot of different opportunities there. We also have a couple of keynote speakers. One of the keynote speakers is Mike Pearson. Some of you may know him from Market to Market if you watch that program on IPTV. He is the host of that and does a wonderful job really connecting with the ag world, as well as just as a very charismatic speaker. So he should be a definitely one to enjoy listening to. We also have David Opvidal, which is with the Federal Reserve out of Chicago. He is an economist with them. He does put a lot of focus in the ag world, but he also is going to be there just to speak sort of about the financial situation of our current government in the United States itself. So that should be very interesting. We're actually going to end the day with that, with David, and so that will be open to anybody. If you're interested in coming out just to hear that speaker alone, you're more than welcome to. Some other topics that we're going to cover throughout the day, you know, as Michelle said a little bit earlier, kind of that transition farming, you know, how we can get the younger agriculturalists engaged, but also with our older generations as well. So that's one of them. We've got some different legal experts coming in that will talk about, you know, fence laws, how we transition planning, setting up, you know, estates, all different things. We also have a couple experts that will be coming in to talk about I guess, different young farmer programs or various different programs that anyone at any age could take and utilize. So hopefully there's something that kind of intrigues everyone there. The cost is very reasonable. We just have it set up to cover the lunch expenses and any food that and basic costs there.
Great things happen there, Dresden. If folks want to register, they can call Hawkeye.
Yes, we actually have it set up two ways. The best way to do it actually is just to go to the Hawkeye website and then search Money Smart. We have a whole online page set up. You can register using a credit card right there, and it'll all be set up. They will ask for a few pieces of personal information, you know, your name, your address. That's just to create a profile of you within the Hawkeye system. So don't be alarmed by that. We don't do anything with your materials. You know, we don't send them out to anybody. But that'll be set up there, and you can just get that registration taken care of online. If you do have questions, you can call us at Hawkeye. The number would be 319-296-4011, and you will get a hold of Diane Lelig, which is the secretary. And if you just tell her you're calling about Money Smart Week, she'll get you in contact with myself or somebody else in the department that can help you out and answer any questions you may have.
Great. And as we mentioned, this is open to our students, any student that would like to attend. We're really focusing on some of the students there at Hawkeye. That's very easy for them to be able to come to, and I think maybe it's being required is class participation a little bit there, Dresden?
Yeah, that is true. We definitely are focusing on the younger generation of the students, and a number of our Hawkeye students will be required to attend this. We feel that there's a number of very valuable speakers coming in that we want them to hear from. But we do encourage those, anybody that has an interest in agriculture and maybe some of those transition planning or looking at estate planning, anything like that. And I do think that that there's something to offer to everyone, and some of our speakers will just have great information regardless of how closely tied to agriculture you even are.
Right. Well, I want to say thank you both to Mike and Dresden. I think some of the activities that are going on, programs here, there's so much that our community offers, and we hope that our listeners take advantage of some of the things we've talked about today. I want to make sure that you know where you can get additional information about Money Smart Week, which begins April 2nd. That is, you can certainly go to the Blackhawk County Extension website and find a full and complete list of 2014 Money Smart activities here in just a few weeks. Or if you go to the moneysmartweek.org website and Google Cedar Valley, certainly you'll be able to get a whole listing of those as well. So feel free to do that. We think it's been a great collaboration. As we mentioned, UNI has been on board, Hawkeye Community College. Certainly Cedar Valley United Way has been heavily involved with this, the YWCA, Family Management Services, many of our local financial institutions, Viridian Credit Union. So for fear that I'm going to miss somebody there, I probably have, but you can see that a lot of people are concerned about this and are coming together to educate our community, which is certainly what Extension is all about. So we're happy to have all those folks on board. I probably would be remiss if I didn't mention today the press conference last week that was held at the Cedar Valley Sportsplex, announcing that emerald ash borer was found located here in Blackhawk County and very close actually to this radio station. And want to just to let you know that we will be scheduling a special KBBG radio show where we're going to have some folks talking specifically about the emerald ash borer. So be listening for that, and we'll make sure that you do hear that. We're also looking to host some public meetings within our community as well, and so those will also be announced on this radio station so that you as a homeowner, can learn about some steps that you can take. First of all, just identifying ash trees, in your own yard. Do I have any ash trees? Right now, it's kind of hard if you don't know what that bark looks like, because trees kind of look the same these days to most folks. But helping you identify what an ash tree is, figuring out if you might have the emerald ash borer, and some steps that you might take, and being able to deal with that. It's here for the long term. It's not anything that we're going to take care of tomorrow or next month or the month after that. It's here for the long term. And so I know our local city governments are working hard to address the issue. It will be a huge financial undertaking for the public and private sector. So what we can do to help inform you about what your options are, and to learn more about how you might be able to address the emerald ash borer in your own backyard. You'll be receiving more information through this radio show and also public meetings. I also mentioned early at the top of the show that we would be talking a little bit about those great gardening classes that we're going to be offering. So get your pen and pencil out here. On Saturday, March 8th, we are partnering with the Healthy Cedar Valley Coalition to bring a backyard composting and vermicomposting, hard word for me to say, workshop at the Extension office on University Avenue starting at 10 o'clock. We will have some folks there from Waste Track. Tammy Turner will be talking about composting in your backyard, so that might be something you want to take part in. Also later on in March, the 22nd on a Saturday, again at 10 a.m., Sally Brown, one of our master gardeners right here in Blackhawk County, will be talking about planning, prepping, and planting for your vegetable garden. So that'll be a fun thing to look at. So the last one is April 12th on Saturday, maintaining and harvesting the vegetable garden. Might be a little premature, but it's always fun to think about what you can do with your bountiful crop after you have it planted this summer. So if you would like to register for any of those, again, call the Blackhawk County Extension office. You can go to all of them for a mere fee of $5. So we urge you to do that as well. Again, we'd like to thank our audience for listening to our program today. If you have any information or questions that you would like to address, please give us a call at the Extension office right here in Waterloo on anything we've talked about today. We look forward to having you next month, and also our special program on emerald ash borer here shortly, as you join us on Information for Everyday Living from Blackhawk County Extension. Until next time, thank you and stay warm. Now what the heck are you doing?
I'm here with Pat. So you wanted a picture of this?
It's no problem. I just couldn't communicate to those guys. I mean, he saw it was a career, but you were talking and I didn't want to disrupt her, so.
I'm sorry for springing a surprise on you there, but.
These guys are they can do it on their feet. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.